An ex-AEW star could be linked to the Uncle Howdy return. Plus, WWE Stars could be competing for a new Japanese promotion soon. And a major WrestleMania return was confirmed just hours before it happened. It's all in the Cultaholic Wrestling news right now. Boy howdy, Uncle Howdy, the speaking point coming out of a very busy episode of Monday Night Raw, or at least we believe it to be Uncle Howdy.
Some form of Bo Dallas.
Yes. Some form of the continuation of the Bray Wyatt piece of work. We saw glitches again this week, a QR code. We've seen weird happenings on the WWE Twitter as well. Now, over the weekend, we had Eric Rowan. You talked about this yesterday, being connected to a WWE return. This is after he cancelled all his upcoming indie appearances owing to new contractual obligations.
What could those new contractual obligations be there, Tom? Could it be a member of the Wyatt Six of some form or fashion?
He might have started a lawn mowing business and he's just got a few gardens to do. Quite potentially. But another name has now been potentially connected to what is going on here.
And it all makes sense because Matthew James Cuthbert Hardy, of all people, shared the clip, which we spoke about in News Video 1 today, of the New Day coming down the ramp and the stuff appearing on screen. That appears on Matt Hardy's X.com profile with no context attached. But of course, who does Matt Hardy have considerable history with in the World Wrestling Federation?
Well, that would be Jeffrey Hardy.
And also
Bray Wyatt, of course. The Deleter of Worlds team that were a thing that kind of capitalized on Bray Wyatt, on Matt Hardy coming in with his woken/broken character, and using that energy that he created somewhere else to work with Bray Wyatt. I quite liked it. We didn't see enough of it, really.
No, yeah, well, he's got a little taste, didn't he, with the lawnmower? I remember that being a thing.
The lawnmower is all I think about when I think of Yas. So it comes at a time as Matt Hardy's next step is unknown. His AEW contract has expired. He hasn't got a new deal currently. He is a free agent. He has said that he's not essentially looking to jump straight into the indie wrestling pool. He's sort of weighing up his options. And I think the fact that he is sharing this clip on his socials very blatantly. Now, also, it's worth noting that Matt Hardy knows how the game is played.
I haven't been booked for a while, brother, so if I put this out here, they might book me.
Yeah.
That's what old wrestlers sound like, apparently.
They all sound like that. But of all the people to share that, to get a little bit of engagement, Matt Hardy, as you've said, with that connection to Bray Wyatt, kind of makes sense. It might lead to something, it may not. But I think, you know what, I don't know whether it was you and I on news, but when we spoke about Matt Hardy being out of contract and going, what does Matt do without Jeff? And I've gone, well, this.
Yeah.
This is what he does.
Yeah.
This makes so much sense.
Because you go back to the Impact days, and Matt was doing this before Jeff became a part of that storyline. So he's done it on his own before, hasn't he?
He's found his own way through as a solo character in a spooky realm. So maybe this is how we bring him back in. We'll keep an eye on this one. We certainly flipping will. Meanwhile, possibly some new movement for WWE Stars doing some extracurricular work.
Yeah, so yesterday, Rossi Ogawa held a press conference to announce Marigold, his brand new wrestling promotion, of course. The first shows in the roster were all confirmed, which includes WWE prospect Julia, who was in the front row with Rossi at NXT Stand and Deliver, who were both sat next to Big Willie Reeves.
So Julia is confirmed as part of the roster among a whole load of other standout talents. But Tokyo Sports are reporting that Rossi Ogawa has invited WWE stars Io Sky and Kairi Sane to be a part of Marigold in some capacity. Now, Rossi Ogawa and Julia, as Ross says, were in attendance, and Tokyo Sports is saying that there was also a meeting that took place between Ogawa and Triple H. And this all comes at a time where over WrestleMania week, we saw Charlie Dempsey and Shayna Baszler appearing for Bloodsport. We're certainly going to start to see, when it comes to those sort of movements, when it's appropriate, WWE stars doing extra work outside of WWE.
Or if you want to be a saucy hack like I'm going to be just now, put your tinfoil hats on, everybody. Have they just sort of launched a new promotion with WWE's money behind it, potentially? Rossi Ogawa being the sort of guy running it over in Japan. Could it be an NXT Japan of sorts? Is that what's happening here?
Oh.
Have they secretly launched their own brand but under a different name? Oh, the conspiracy. Whoa.
Wait a minute. Marigold is an anagram of Shawn Michaels. They've had us all.
Marigold. I'm trying to think of a reference there, but I can't think of one.
Marigold? right? Marry Gold, who has held Gold, Triple H. He married Stephanie McMahon. Marry Gold. Triple H is running Marigold.
That all makes sense.
It all makes sense. It all writes itself. Rossi Ogawa, we figured you out.
I just find it a little bit weird how Rossi was in the front row of Regal. We've learned about these talks with Triple H. He's launched a new promotion, and now he's referencing people who are contracted to another place.
And he was holding like a bunch of £100 notes as well, like $100 notes as well. What's the read into that?
I don't know.
And a paperclip that said Trips on it. What's the read into that? Meanwhile, we're seeing an AEW star making a surprise return to AAA next Saturday. My best friend, Jeff Jarrett, has been announced for AAA Triplemania Monterrey.
I don't think he likes you, Tom. I don't
Stop it!
I know it's a news video, and I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I think you like him a lot more than he likes you.
No, it goes both ways. I mean, admittedly, it is me that instigates, the stuff on Twitter.
I mean, what happened last time he went outside of his house and started knocking on the windows? What happened there?
The police just happened to be there doing routine inspections, and they said, look, we're going to very politely ask you to move on.
And then what happened the fifth time he did the same thing on the same window?
I think the police just live over the road, to be honest.
Fair
and I
enough.
think they'll put in the bins out and just recognise me from before. I think that's all it is. But sadly, Jeff, I will not be able to be with you for Triplemania in Mexico, but you will have good company in Jeff Jarrett's world team. It's not a catchy name.
It is.
Yeah.
It's the catchiest name Jeff Jarrett has ever had in any stable ever.
I've got a better one.
No, you haven't.
He's going to lead the world team comprising of Satnam Singh, Sam Adonis, QT Marshall, and Parker Boudreaux to face Psycho Clown, Laredo Kid, Octagon Jr., and a mystery partner.
Ooh, is it you?
It's not me again. The police are adamant that I shouldn't be there for some reason. Why is he calling them Jeff Jarrett's world team?
I don't know.
Call them total non-stop arseholes, but in Spanish.
Right.
NYC Demon Diva. Can you tell me how we say total non-stop arseholes in Spanish?
Sure thing, Tom. The translation you're looking for is Jeff Jarrett es un cabrón imparable. Stay safe. Love you. Adios.
That's how you say it.
I thought you were going to do it on your own there.
Nah, not when Easter's there. She's on YouTube, NYC Demon Diva. Love you, adios. Thank you very much for popping by. Also, The Undertaker popped by for WrestleMania.
My God, it was a shoot appearance there, Tom. Literal
Christ!
shoot appearance. I watched this podcast in full last night. Undertaker speaks about being in his private box for night 2 of WrestleMania and then receiving a text. And the text must have read, "You need it for the main event, pal." And up he got. Up he went, and he didn't tell anybody in the box. Michelle was there. Michelle's dad, his father-in-law, the guy he does the podcast with, who served in the military and stuff like that. Nobody knew. All of a sudden at the main event, he's there in the main event.
Did Michelle just think he'd gone for a big wee?
Everyone thought he was gagging for the toilet. They said on the podcast, "We thought you were going to poop your pants," like Rod Stewart from South Park. Yeah, it was a fully shoot appearance.
I'm gonna drop the kids off at the pool. Really? Yes, on the podcast 6 Feet Under, he does talk about how the whole thing with him getting into that WrestleMania moment was very last minute. He said it happened pretty spontaneously. We got to Philadelphia on the Wednesday that week. I think I got a call on Tuesday from Triple H, and he said, "Hey, there's a lot of things going on. A lot of thoughts have been put into this. Would you potentially be up for doing something?" And he was like, "Yeah, we'll see." And then nothing more happened until sort of the weekend when he's getting a few texts from Paul Heyman while he's doing his One Dead Man show. Am I right? And there's a few texts back and forth, but nothing is confirmed. And then, as Ross said, he gets to his luxury box with Michelle and his podcast friend and a few other people / hangers on. And as the main events, apparently as the night is getting underway, they've gone, "Yeah, we're going to go with it."
Well, he tells the story that someone in the crowd in front of the box realised that who he was and what he was doing. He sat there with a bottle of Jack Daniels, apparently was present, so he was set for the night to be just in the skybox. And everyone's turning around going, "Oh my God, it's The Undertaker." And everyone starts chatting at him. Then all of a sudden, when his music hits at the start, 15,000 people again turn around and he's not there. And the podcast guy's like, "Well, I didn't know about it." It's just...
Imagine they turned around and he was still sat there. I don't know who that is. That'd have been brilliant. So he was having like a bottle of JD. He was good. He was settled in for the night.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh man, can't drink me JD now, or can I?" But I just find it incredible that such a key part of that phenomenal main event was so last minute.
Yeah. I mean, I think we all assumed that was meant to be Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Everything felt like it should have been Austin.
And maybe a few days before they realised we're not going to get Steve Austin, so we'll call The Undertaker. But the fact it went up until, 2 or 3 hours before the match even took place, it's astonishing.
The one lovely thing that came from that, as he said on the podcast, Undertaker got a lot of closure from it. He said, I've been struggling with it since I retired, but this weekend gave me closure. When it's over and I'm running out of the building, I'm like, I'm good now. I'm not saying I won't do something like that in the future, but I don't have that feeling in my chest like I had since I retired. Hadn't come to peace with it. It's time to now flip the page and go to the next chapter.
Yeah, he was saying just the fact that his last match was a cinematic thing with no fans there, the Boneyard against AJ Styles and Gallows and Anderson. The fact he went out that way and didn't have that sort of send-off in front of the crowd, that's what gave him the main closure. And the fact he doesn't want to completely ruin his brand new knees by hitting a tombstone.
No. If you've got new knees, you don't want to, put them too much to the test, do you? I totally get that. I think that's lovely. I'm really happy for him.
Yeah.
Like the fact that he's able to go, okay, I did that and I'm good now. I can relax now. I can finish his bottle of JD and just enjoy the rest of my night.
And that podcast he's got, it's a good listen. I really enjoy listening to him talk. He knows how to tell a very good story, as he would do, being a storyteller like he has been for bloody 35 years at this point. But he is just a chilled out guy who's sitting back in the stories he tells. Like, what got me hooked was a story told about Hulk Hogan with the tombstone that didn't hit. That one where he does it on the chair to Hulk Hogan.
Oh, yeah.
And then Hulk Hogan pretend he hit. And apparently Hogan's backstage going, get my wife and children on the phone, this might be the end.
Oh,
and it's obviously because it's the early 90s, Undertaker hasn't seen the footage for a few days, but upon seeing it, he's like, what's that about then? And Hogan says, you held me that tight to your body, I had nowhere to go, and that's what hurt my neck. Hulk Hogan's the worst.
Is there something doing the rounds recently where he was having a chat with Mick Foley on WWE Hidden Treasures or whatever, and he said that my plan originally was to turn heel on Ultimate Warrior and call myself Triple H. Does he know?
Foley's face, I don't know if I can get the picture, or Sesh, sorry, get the picture, but it's fantastic, Foley's face. He's just like, huh? I know that's not true, and you tell him it to his face.
Do you think he knows that he's telling complete bollocks?
Yeah.
Does he know?
Yeah, but you're Hulk Hogan, so you're going to believe it's true.
Yeah, whether or not you just get sort of lost up your own arsehole a bit sometimes. You just I know I do. I need a map to get back sometimes. I get it. It's all, hey, look, WrestleMania week been and gone, but there were some phenomenal matches throughout the week. Jack the Jobber breaks down the best ones in a brand new Matches of the Month podcast, a WrestleMania special. It's waiting for you on the Cultaholic podcast feed. And for the latest wrestling news throughout the day, you can follow us on Twitter at Cultaholic. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.